like, yeah, thanks for taking the time, mate. Like, feel free to just introduce yourself and who you are and what you do.
Yeah, yeah, cool. So my name is Tom. I'm a web designer, and I help businesses figure out what it is that makes them valuable, and then build the website that sells that, essentially. Um, so when I started this, which was 2 years ago, I think I was still in the same trap that most designers were, where you're selling design, you sell the thing that you do, right? The outcome that you sell. Um, which is a lot harder to get traction with. Essentially, like, you are fundamentally selling something that you know really well to an audience that doesn't know it. And the challenge that I think a lot of designers faced was, how do I communicate that value of, this is what I can do for you? So yeah, joining the program, it sort of flips my thinking of what I'm selling isn't important. It's the value that I can unlock for these, like, prospects and the clients. That's what we need to communicate. That's what we need to sell, not look at the typography and the colors that we've chosen for your website. That sort of stuff matters to us, but it doesn't matter to the guys that are paying for your services. So it was kind of a bit of a, why didn't I think of this before moment? But it's so true. Like,
Mm.
kind of be shown the right way to do it. And then yeah, so from that, gone, luckily, from strength to strength, and yeah, picking up clients all over the world. And yeah, it's been good. I think this month I am on track by I think about a grand short, for now, to make more in a month than I did in its full year of my old previous job. So
Oh wow,
that's
wow, dude, that's
pretty
huge.
pretty well
Um,
rocking.
what so something that you kind of opened up about it at the London event was like, yeah, you're getting word of mouth and referrals, but you're actually starting to turn cold relationships into revenue as well. So, like, take us through maybe what the mental unlocking there is that maybe prevented you from maybe even trying or getting outcomes to now being able to start good conversations and get people on the phone.
100%. Yeah, I mean, the first one was, what are they going to think? Like, if I'm reaching out to someone that doesn't know me, what am I going to say to them, and what are they going to think of me? And I think the more you do stuff, the more comfortable you get. Like, I used to get quite nervous speaking to people across the telephone, whereas now it's like, yeah, whatever, you get used to it. So the more you do it, the more consistent you are, the easier it becomes, and the more natural you become at it. So I think it's just a case of being consistent. And the other thing was going into the sort of mindset of, like, what you say is so important. If I went out and went, I can give you 50 leads, by tomorrow, people are going to go, that's a cold email. You're trying to potentially upsell me to something that it doesn't work. You need to build those warm relationships first, and you need to say things in the right way. So my sort of strategy is, I go out and speak to people first, right? So we go out, we have conversations. The first thing that comes out of my head is not a business relationship. It's, oh, I see that you're in Vienna. I love that place. Tell me a bit more about it. Like, what's good? Um, it's all about building connections, and at that point, when you have a bit of a rapport, then you can transition into the. So tell me a bit about what you do. What kind of stuff do you work on? Um, and that's how you can sort of get the the business conversation in a more natural way. And I've typically found much more, yeah, responsive clients through that kind of connection, rather than the sort of the cold sell I think people are getting slightly more aware of these days.
Totally. Um, what what's been like your favorite topic or format of the training program that's resonated the most?
That's a very good question. Um, the systems were really important for me, because I'd spent most of my career being on the receiving end of systems. Like, obviously, I've been a designer in an agency. You get told what to design, you get told what to do. But actually, there's so much value for me and my clients when the systems are in place that make it a lot easier. I know what's going on every stage of the journey now, and my clients have access to things like portals or whatever that tell them where they are in the project, so they're happy. They don't have to chase for confirmation of what's going on, and I know what's happening. And I don't think I'd have necessarily got to that stage without starting from the ground up and going, right, I need to actually figure out who am I speaking to, what am I saying, what are the things, how am I documenting this so I can get the VAs doing stuff. Like, it's just things that I've never really considered. So that's probably the most useful part of the project for me. But then, yeah, all of it's been good. Like, the whole part of it changes the way you think about everything in your business.
Mm.
So yeah, from a business point of view, I think the systems, but from like a outreach and what I do point of view, it's that deeper, not like deeper reason that someone gets to you, and that it's that change of thinking of what I'm selling isn't valuable. That was like such an eye opener.
Got it. What advice would you, if you had to condense everything that you've learned over the space of the last 12 months, what advice would you give yourself to kind of be the ultimate hack to kind of compress the last 12 months? Like, is there like a sentence you can give yourself, like where you'd be like, oh, just do this?
Yeah, I think it will be twofold. One, what you're selling isn't valuable. What you think you're selling isn't what people buy. So almost ignore what you do and focus on the deep reason that someone is choosing to work with you. What is the problem that you can solve that is painful enough for them to pay for? That is the kind of the big shift. Like, now the problem that I solve and that businesses find really helpful is distilling what they do in a way that prospects can understand on their websites. So we don't know how to sell online is the problem that we can solve. So I know how to do it. I know how to put the offers in place. I know how to put the ladders in place that will move a prospect into a client. This is how we do it. That deep problem is what's valuable, not the outcome, which is the website. They don't really care about that. They just want to know that the system works. So I think it would be taking a real step back and thinking about the deep value of what you do, and focus on proposals and offers, because the better you can get at those, the more you can close, the more money you make. And that was something that I just sort of didn't really think about. It was just, oh, here's a proposal document, and I just sort of threw one together. But actually having a system in place that's really condensed and really saying the right things, it's like been transformational. I think I probably closed like 80% of my projects now just because of a good proposal.
Yeah, a clear, simple proposal that gets to the point, I suppose.
And
Um,
it's saying things that are in their head, right? It's not, we'll build you a 6-page website to do this, this, and this. It's like, we'll solve this problem. Like, this painful thing that you are facing, we'll cover that and we'll solve it. Do you want to
mm.
work with us?
Yeah, it seems obvious, but like it's amazing how people they just miss the point, and then all you got to do is stay on the point, and you'll most of the time you'll be the only one sitting there doing a better
100%.
job of communicating it. Mate, thanks for taking the time to kind of offer us some insights into your experience so far, and yeah, let's shoot another one when you 5x the existing run rate, so you can say, "Oh, I did more in a month than I used to do in 5 years." That's the next step.
Yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, it's, touch wood, been a bloody good year. So yeah, appreciate the help.
Good man.